What up YouTube? Welcome to another episode of One Hammer TV. Today we're gonna do a complete transformation and this young man right here. Thank you for checking in. Stay tuned. Shout out to the Most High, another day above earth, a great reason to be thankful for. So today I want to start by combing out the ear. Make sure all the ear are off the skin and ready in motion to be cut. After finish combing out the hair properly, I'm going with my gold Babyliss clothes with my 2-guard on. This client requested a skin taper with a 1.5 on the top. But it's been a while since his last haircut, a little over 2 months, so I want to make sure there are no colic and the hair are in the proper direction for my taper. So I'm going with the 2-guard close, taking my time to make sure the ear are level for the 1.5. After removing the bulk of ear with the 2-guard, I get the brush to brush the hair properly, preparing for my next move. Then I go with my 1.5 with the lever close, going over the same motion I went with the 2-guard, just to make sure the hair is all even and cut properly. Sometimes you will meet some client with nice wave, crazy wave, but after not maintaining it for a few months, all those waves will go away. So it's your duty to make sure you actually build back those waves by going with the grain and take your time to search for it. That's why I start with the 2-guard to make sure the ear is down and then go with the 1.5. So what I'm doing now, I'm taking my time to make equal strokes so I could get that ear on the same level. Then I go with my Babyliss trimmer to create that first guideline. I'm creating that rainbow-like guideline so I could have that shape up popped in that C-cup area. You want to make sure that surface is cleaned properly in preparation for your fade. Then I'm going to go around the back and create that same rainbow shape guideline. Reason for this rainbow like guideline, so whenever the haircut is finished and I shape up on the 2 sides, then you will be able to see more details. You want to continue by doing the same on the opposite side. After using my 1.5 guard and the Babyliss clipper, it wasn't the desired length the client was looking for, so I go with my 1.5 changeable blade and my Asta cordless, cutting in the same motion as I did with my guard, going with the grain so I could have that ear to lie down and try to revive his wave. This machine actually gives a smoother finish. You just gotta know what you're doing. This might take a few seconds, so I'm just gonna speed this up just a little. Now that we got the ear and the desired length we're actually looking for, I'm just gonna go ahead with my brush and brush again. As I said, this client hasn't cut his ear in a while, so I'm still searching for that wave. Using my Aster with my number 1 blade on, I'm gonna create my second guideline before I break into my fade. Sometimes using this number 1 and the blade, you actually get the ear more even than even the clipper sometimes. So I'm doing the same for the back, going up about 1 inch with my second guideline. Also on the other side, I'm making sure I have that second guideline the same height as I did in the back. So with my Babyliss guard open 1 notch, I'm taking my time to go about 1/4 inches up from the first guideline. So I'm brushing as I go, cut 1, brush 1. Now with my lever completely closed, I'm taking my time just to go with a flip on the edge of that line to remove that line. Now with my lever halfway open, I'm going above to remove that dark area which I created when the lever was 1 notch open. For now, I'm just playing with my fade. I can clearly see that fade coming into play. So when my clipper is lower down, the guard is lower. The higher I go with my clipper, the more I open up the lever. So I'm going with my 1.5 guard with my lever completely closed to remove that bulk of the hair. Remember, we go 1.5 with the grain, so 1.5 against the grain should be able to box out that line without pushing it up. So what I'm doing, I'm going with a flip. As I go, I flip. I try not to hold the machine too firm. I hold it gentle so I can flip as I go. Now I'm going with my number 1 guard, lever open to remove that bulk. So I'm going up about ½ inches. As I said, I'm going with a flip. I'm holding my machine lightly, so I flip as I go. Now with my lever completely closed, I'm taking my time to remove that dark area down by the bottom. I can see clearly now my fade is coming. Yeah. I'm continuing to do the same thing right across. If you see any additional dark spot, you can always adjust the blade and go over those dark area. You want to make sure the transition is perfectly clean. Now with my half guard lever completely closed, I'm just playing with the edge just to finish that transition. I'm taking my time to make sure all the dark area and unnecessary line are gone. Look at this transition. I'm working miracle over here. Now we're going to do the same procedure on this side. With my lever 1 notch away from close, I'm going up about ½ inch from the first guideline. Now with my lever closed, I'm just going like 1 tap, just a little away from my first guideline. Now you want to blend in the sideburns with that taper, so you want to go the opposite way. The lower down you go, the more the guard open to get that blend to blend into that taper. Now with my 1.5 guard and lever completely closed, I'm going up about 1 inch just with a flip to get that heavy line out. Now with my 1 guard lever completely open, I'm doing the same thing. Go up with a flip. While I go, I adjust the lever to make sure I get the transition proper. I'm using the corner 2 teeth of the blade to get that transition in that corner over the ear. With my half guard and lever completely closed, I'm taking the final step to complete this transition. As I mentioned before, this client hasn't had a haircut in a while, so the hair is a bit stubborn to lie down. Now we're going to do the same process on the other side, so I'm just going to speed up this side for you. As a beginner, you want to make sure you get the barber Sharpie pencil, and you want to make sure you get that hairline sketched out equally. Place client in front of the mirror. Start from the center, work your way to one end, and then you start from that same center to work your way to the other end. Please check in the mirror to make sure it's straight. With your trimmer, you want to make sure you follow that guideline you created for the shape up. As a baby in school, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, learn to trace and paper, so you want to follow that same procedure. Don't go behind the line, stay on that line you created. You want to continue the same procedure for the back. I usually start down on the lower part of the neck, work my way up above the hair. I mentioned before about holding the machine firm. You don't want to hold that machine too tight. You don't want to hug that machine up. You want to take your time and hold that machine lightly, so you can use the corner of the blade to actually catch around the ear. If you are not sure if your line is straight enough, please place client towards mirror, hold their head straight, and make sure you check that line and continue following that guideline you created with that barber sharpie. Now I'm going to apply my shaving gel towards the hairline, thin layer of shaving gel to prepare for a shape up. For me, my haircut usually comes with a complimentary warm towel. What this warm towel does is relax the muscle, increase the flow of blood, also soften the hair in preparation for my razor. I continue with a couple seconds of facial massage, just a complimentary from me to the client. I gently remove that warm towel and remove any excess shaving gel and prepare the face for shaving. Now I go with my straight razor to make sure I get that sharp finishing, that crispy shape up. This is where you see most of the detail, so you want to make sure you get that shape up right. Stretch the skin if necessary, and the C-cup area, you want to take your time. When using the blade, you don't want to rush, you want to take your time, be consistent, and you will see it through. You want to do the same thing on the opposite side also. I'm just going to speed this up for a minute. With the haircut is finished, shape up is finished, I'm just going to give it my final touch with my trimmer. I'm going to go over that shape up and make sure I get all any hair hanging out that didn't catch in the razor and get it removed. I might even go over it 2 or 3 times if necessary, just to make sure it has that crispy finishing. After removing the neck strip, you want to trim any hair on the lower part of the client's neck. Then I finish with a light spray of little sea breeze around that hairline to remove that ash from that shape up created by the blade and the trimmer. Now that we have come to the end of this video, thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share also. Shout out to Africa, one world, one people, one love. Peace out.